Hi guys, I know that it's been a really long time since you've heard from me and I apologize. I do have the results and I will go over them with you. I just want to get a couple of things out of the way before I start. One is I wish my husband was here with me to be able to do the reveal as we wanted to do it together. But I have been super sick and not feeling so well. And I just have been laid out, so I haven't been able to make a video, and I really apologize for that if you've been following. But I'm feeling a little bit better today, and I thought I would take the moment and go ahead and update you on what's going on. So as everybody knows that's been following, I had my egg retrieval on the 28th of February. And then we went ahead and put back 2 MBs on March 4th. So on March 4th, I'm not even kidding, I look at my husband and I'm like, I know we're not supposed to cheat, but I know myself. And if you're anything like me and you're kind of a control freak, which I admit I totally am, you're definitely going to want to test. Like, it's just going to kill you. And so I told him, I was like, you know, why don't we just buy like a whole slew of tests, have them at home, and we'll test every day. And if it says pregnant all the way up, well, it does. And then we knew that everybody was correct online. Probably best not to test. So we went and bought a whole bunch of the clear blue tests. And I bought the ones that have the 5 in the packet, which is really awesome. By the way, Walgreens is not cheaper than Walmart. Walmart is definitely cheaper. And sometimes you'll find a coupon on it. They'll take the coupon the same day. So that was really great. I bought, I can't even tell you, at least $180 worth of tests. But at this point, does it really matter? Because we spent so much money. Why not, right? So I did this splurge. It was a little something to keep me not crazy. So my first test totally came out positive, and I was testing morning and night, And sorry, my husband's writing me. He's at work. So I was doing both, and they started off positive for the first 2 days. And I got my first negative morning and night, and I'm not going to lie, the negative test, I knew I had to tell myself, okay, well, you want to have a negative because you want to show that that trigger shot, the HCG, has dissipated from your body. However, it was hard to stomach. I started like feeding myself really bad negative thoughts, and I had to use my spouse to help me bring me back to reality. He was like, this is what we knew was going to happen. This is what we wanted to happen. He's like, now if we get a positive, we know. So it went on like that. I definitely took 5 negative tests, and then all of a sudden a positive. So not only did I test till I got the positive, but I tested all the way up until I actually had the blood test. And so most of them have the dates on them because I was obsessive. But most of them I had to throw away because the little monitor stopped holding them, which kind of stunk. It's kind of hopeful to like take pictures of all the tests that I took. But yeah, they kind of cleared out. So if that brings anybody like some joy in knowing that you can test ahead of time, I would buy the clear blue. I recommend it. It's what I used, and it really worked for me because they're very sensitive tests. A little more expensive, totally worth it than the cheapies. The cheapies did not light up at all, which brings me to the fact that I did get the pregnancy test back. They called me. I went in at, right as they opened. I was literally like the second person that they drew blood for that day. And by 10 a.m., we had the results. And I asked her, I said, hey, does it look like both babies made it? And she said, you know, I'm not really supposed to tell you this, but based off the beta, I don't think so. It looks like it's going to be 1. She said, now a beta test doesn't say everything, but usually we expect to see it much higher. So it's kind of sad, but I think the moment they put them in you, you really start to get super attached. And bonding, you just have all these emotions and all these feelings, and then you take progesterone on top of it, which doesn't help. So, yeah, I'm just going to let you ladies know my boobs have grown times 10. As you can see, I'm wearing black, so I can't breathe. It's just outrageously huge. In fact, my mom was kind of making a joke the other day that when I lay down, they're choking me. I'm like, funny, Mom, thanks. She's like, you know, you could be on Baywatch. I'm like, yeah, if the waist was tiny. But all jokes aside, we're so thrilled. The happiest moment ever was finding out that it truly worked. And if we got one baby, we're totally okay with that. One healthy baby, 100%. Thrilled and happy to have that in our life. And we will find out more. We have an ultrasound scheduled for 3 weeks after, which will be April 4th, 2016. Very, very excited. So I haven't shared this with you guys, but 2 years ago, when we found out the results from my initial surgery, which we talked about in my very first video, and I knew that I did not get my tubes reversed, I was super depressed, probably more depressed than I ever remember being. And one day, my husband shows up with this big, beautiful package. And, you know, I was confused because it wasn't a holiday, it wasn't an anniversary, it wasn't anything super special. But he had this huge package for me. And he said, I want you to wait to open it so we're all here. And I did. And what it was is, it made me cry so much. It still kind of makes me want to cry today. But it was little Lammy in this cute container. And Lammy was wrapped up in a blanket and a very soft, snuggy blanket to bring me comfort with Lammy. And what it was is that we believe in God. And it said, God bless. And so it was a prayer and a promise from my husband that he would do everything in his power to get us through IVF and to get us to that point. And that I shouldn't lose sight that there's still hope. And yeah, so I have this little memento, and we took him to all of the appointments, and it looks like there's gonna be a baby. So makes me super happy. I did a reveal basket. You know, these days everybody's doing like a special reveal, and I'm kind of crafty, and I thought, you know what, I want to. So I went ahead and I created a little basket. It's Easter, so month of March 2016. And I thought I would do something Easter themed. So I went to Michael's and I bought this really cute little skirt and attached it to the basket. And then, oh, you can see I've got one of my pregnancy tests in there. And then I've got all the chickies. So myself, my husband, the 3 kids that I've had prior, and then the fact that we're expecting baby 1 and baby 2. So that's kind of exciting. And I had done the reveal party for that a couple of days ago before I found out about the beta. But I've read a lot of reports online that a mom kind of knows, and she can kind of feel it. And I don't feel like I'm having twins. I honestly feel like I'm having a singleton. So yeah, that kind of stinks. But you know what? We'll find out at the ultrasound, and it is what it is, like I said before. So this brings me to the point that I was telling you guys that I was not feeling well, and I've been under the weather. So after I had my MBs put back, and I did the transfer, I started experiencing some really big bloating. I was showing you guys that I was looking really, really pregnant. And I was having some pain and discomfort, but as far as I read from like all blogs and trends and YouTube videos, everything that I watched was saying, oh, I'm following the normal pattern that everybody else is having. I guess that I've learned recently that my pain tolerance is kind of high because I started getting even sharper pains today. And I called my doctor and I said, my nurse. I said, I'm not sure if there's anything wrong, but I'm calling because I'm starting to have concern that I might have an ectopic pregnancy. I have a pain that's consistent on one side and it's not going away, and I've got some other symptoms and I'm not feeling so well. And so by other symptoms, I've started to lose appetite a lot, which at this point I should be going up in appetite. I'm feeling extremely bloated. I'm telling you, I look a good solid 7 months pregnant. And I have nausea and I have small dizzy spells, but the biggest thing is I've got pain on my left side. And so she said, I'm not sure if that's normal. Let me get a hold of the doctor and I'll call you back. She did. They got me in right away, like today. They did an ultrasound. Unfortunately, they didn't mention anything about the babies, and I didn't want to make it about that because I know I have an ultrasound set up. I wanted to just make sure I didn't have an ectopic pregnancy. But it turns out I do have the OHSS, which is the ovarian hyperstimulation, and it's painful. My doctor was actually very surprised that I wasn't having other symptoms with this. So yeah, he said that what happened was I reacted smooth to all the medicine, and I might have been having a borderline reaction to my trigger shot that wasn't present the day that they went ahead and did the egg retrieval and when they did the transfer, the egg transfer or the embryo transfer. So he said what happened was because of the HCG from the pregnancy, it's making it more pronounced because obviously every day the HCG is going up, and now it's causing those ovaries to really, really react. And by ovaries, I mean just the one on the left side. But it's probably about the size of a small orange. And he's like, I'm just shocked that you could last this long because it's pretty painful. He's like, the fact that I could see it just right away, I knew where the problem was. So if you're struggling through that, I'm so sorry. It is super rough. I miss my heating pad. I've read lots that say you should put your heating pad away right after you do the transfer, which kind of stinks because I live by my heating pad. I'm not kidding. Like, I have endometriosis. My heating pad is literally my blanket every night. I just have it with me at all times. My mom says I've become codependent upon that thing. But it's really my first day of finding out that I have it, and it does kind of stink, and I'm hoping that it's going to get better and not worse. As I've read stuff online that doesn't throw me too much, like needle in the stomach and draining fluid. Oof. I don't want to go through any of that. But I want to let you know that I know Kris wishes he could be here. Thank you for all the support from everybody. We're pregnant. That's so exciting. I will continue my journey through pregnancy. IVF side of things will only be a couple of more weeks, and then we'll be transferred over to the OB side, which is kind of scary because they take such good care of you in IVF. And then regular OB doctors, it's just kind of, you're another person. It's what they do every single day. But IVF is so personalized, and they're there for you no matter what. And they listen to your symptoms. And if you don't have a doctor that is taking care of you like this with the IVF, you are at the wrong clinic. I have had a nurse that has been available for me. She knows me by name. She knows my chart. When I call, when I talk to her, it's, yes, Miss Plantaz, let me get that. Let me look that up. Everything, beck and call. Same thing with my doctor. Very, very understanding, very supportive. And even today, I wasn't able to see my actual doctor. I saw Dr. Chow, who's ahead of the IVF program. but it was important enough to him that he had met me once or twice before this. And he said, no, you get her in. I know Miss Plantaz, and I'm going to take care of her and make sure she's okay. And if he hadn't have done that, who knows how long I would have continued to go with the OHSS. So it's kind of hard. It's a little bit of a tongue twister to say that. But they did tell me that I can take oxycodone. I'm not a fan of that. I don't like to take any medicine while pregnant. I drink tons of water. I gave up my Dr. Pepper. I gave it up. You know, I love a baby, and I want this really bad when I'm willing to give up my Dr. Pepper. But, yeah. Anyway, please comment below. Please ask questions, subscribe, follow this story. It's important to me to be able to help all of you through your journey and to let you know that it's super, super surreal when you finish. It's absolutely beautiful. The egg transfer, oh my gosh. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Made me cry. It's a very, very special moment. I mean, other than the fact that you're getting your embryos, the egg transfer for us was just, they did such a beautiful job, and the way that they handled it with such care, it was really nice. So I'm here for you guys. I'm here to answer questions. I was on the long Lupron cycle, and pregnancy brain isn't helping out with my verbiage today. But yeah, I was on the longer cycle. I took the Lupron, the Menopur, and the Follistim injections, and then I trigger shot with HCG. So if you have questions about any of that, totally willing to help. But yeah, have a great day, guys. Thank you for following, and lots of love out there for you.